Life's Milkshake Moment with health coach Jody.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Life's Milkshake Moments. It is my honor and my delight to come to you today, Dr. Jody Bear, health coach and holistic nutritionist, to tell you there is hope. What does hope stand for? It stands for healing, to go down into yourself, to go up in opportunity, and to come in positivity, to be and live the law of attraction, and then to go out in empowerment, to change first yourself, your circle of influence, and then the world. And it begins with you diagnosing your life's milkshake moments, because life is like a milkshake, ladies and gentlemen. Choose your ingredients wisely. And when you do, life will be oh so sweet. And I am so honored and delighted you are in for hashtag a treat today, because we have two other amazing authors with the Les Brown book, Ignite the Hunger in You. We've got details, so stay to the end of the podcast. We have a book launch. We have a link so that you can get your downloadable pre-launch copy. But most importantly, this week is International Business Week, and we are doing this and having our event Friday that I'll be talking about in a minute. Why? Because it's Women's Health Month. As a health coach and a holistic nutritionist, I've seen so many people the last 20 months. They don't have a tummy ache, as I say, which is my first childhood memory. They have a bellyache. Why do they have a bellyache? Because they absolutely feel that their life is torn apart. See, COVID has given them obesity, marriages failing, suicide, drug, alcohol addiction, unemployment, financial malaise. It's not what is eating us. Maybe it is. I think it is. We always think it's what we're eating, what we're drinking, what we're seeing. No, it is what is eating us. So this is when you can look and say, personal development, life's milkshake moment, because we all have, as I call it, life's on you, now doesn't it? Life's on you. What do you do in those moments? In that time, you go down into your hope. This is one of those times that we face every single day, to be in a continuous way, law of attraction, with positive thoughts, energy, and just spiritual things in all six senses of our lives. Because one of my life milkshake moments was when I was a young girl. Now I am mid-20s. I get the phone call. Have you ever got one of those phone calls? I was just going into our half bath after the kitchen cleanup. I just had dinner with my then husband, who was not nearly at that point my husband. He really was my husband. And I had my two sons playing a game in the living room. I came back to get a hand call. After got the towel, I got the call. It was my mother. She said, Jody, they say I have cancer. I have 6 weeks to live. Can anybody identify with that life's milkshake moment? That was an ignite moment in me. And I sat there in a bucket of tears. I slumped to the floor and I rolled off that toilet paper until there was no more roll. But because I became relentless, you've heard me talk about my mantra: wake up, be amazing, rinse, repeat, be relentless. And I found healing protocols for my mother that gave her almost 3 years length of life. And she admonished me and gave me hope at the end of her life then, and said, Jody, just teach people what you have given me so I know my grandsons. Now that's a life's milkshake moment. You have those, don't you? It's what you do with those that said, It is necessary for you to go down into yourself. Know that it is you that can change those circumstances, no one else. And we're changing those circumstances today on Life's Milkshake Moment, and also Friday. This is the first time ever that we're going to have an event on Clubhouse, Life's Milkshake Moments. Why are we doing this? Because of all of those reasons, for it being Women's Health Month and also International Business Women's Week. We start at 11 a.m. Eastern Time to 11 p.m. Yes, 12 hours. It's okay. It's my youngest son's 40th birthday. I was in labor longer than 12 hours. We can do this, right? No problem. On the 22nd, go to Clubhouse, look for the One Percenters Club. That's where it's at. You will see in my timeline on Facebook. It is there. You will see everything, because not only will it be on Clubhouse, but say you're just working at the office, go to my timeline, Jodee, Jodee. You see the spelling, Baer. Look me up on Facebook, and we are simulcasting this event, and we're simulcasting it to Facebook as well, Facebook Live. So share this, because our program is threefold. We are serving the underserved with my wonderful charity. You've heard about the Kenny Kids, who had nothing when COVID hit, and we've kept them going. Now we have availability for corporate sponsorships, t-shirts, mugs, and we also have, in honor of our event, a Women's Sense t-shirt. Ladies, wouldn't you like to have a set of fuchsia lips right here? That's what we have. It says Women's Sense, ignite the real you. Then we are serving also my dear, dear charity, the Women's Refuge of St. Johns County in St. Augustine, Florida. They have the lowest recidivism rate, 5%, of women that go back to their former life. In the state of Florida, they have a great success rate. And then I was put in touch, it came on my radar, about the Daytona Coalition to fight human trafficking. We're going to serve all three of those charities, and you get an opportunity to get a free lip gloss with every purchase. We have a corporate sponsor in Senegence. Their lipsticks will not be kissed off by your husband, by your kids, by no one. Your lips are going to stay there the whole day. Yes, we have all this, but wait, there's even more. The incomparable, the amazing, the greatest of all time, Les Brown, will be kicking us off. 11:15, he'll be in the room. Because one thing Les Brown has never had in his life, he has never had a best-selling book, New York Times bestseller. We are going to make it for him. In the chat, in just a minute, you will see a deal that says this link, this deal will get you this free download. It's only $1.99 now. Our goal on Friday is to get 7,000 downloads. And not only that, but my coach, my mentor, Jay Nolan, former Major League Baseball player with the San Diego Padres, and the author of the new Amazon bestseller in 5 categories, going towards USA Today bestseller as well, and international bestseller. His book, The Power of a Woman Through a Man's Perspective. That perspective of a man, isn't that important? So this event has women talking about these 6 senses, starting with your spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, social, winding up in the financial, because if you have all 5 together, give me 5, the financial will be there. That's what we're doing. And having these amazing speakers like Forbes Riley, Dame Doria Cordova, Jennifer Gitmer. Jennifer is a best-selling author, New York Times bestseller, even as repetitively as her husband, the author of the Little Red Sales Book, Jeffrey Gitomer. Stephanie Arnold, Justine Progrosky, Renee Godefroy, the list goes on and on, but we will have 16 women authors that will be speaking at this event. You will hear from them. You will hear how they will ignite the hunger in you, and you, and you, and you, and it will go out and out. And this is what my first guest today, Holly Kalua, is a registered nurse, but she is so much more. I say she's registered in many categories. She is called Coach Kalua. I'm putting this in the chat. This is how you can get in contact with her right now. But she became a fertility strategist, and she's going to tell that story. She helps guide and empower couples to that thing of creating their legacy through their offspring. She integrates relationship enhancement, but she is a coach into the corporate field. She does live radio interviews. She is on LinkedIn Live, and oftentimes she even has a series on Facebook with her speaker series. She's a national live and virtual health conference guru. I know, because I've been a part of her health fertility conferences, and it was such a delight. She is a corporate leader and a facilitator, but she is a woman with a heart. She is absolutely, she's been on Scott Becker. Yes, Scott Becker. Did you catch the name Scott Becker? His healthcare podcast. She has launching even, and she did during the COVID era. Doesn't that tell you something about her? Perspectives podcast. She is a human behavior consultant. She is passionate about her work, but she is passionate about everything she does, because in everything she does, she just puts a little Kalua in her coffee, or she drinks it straight. So it is my pleasure and my delight to bring to Life's Milkshake moment, Holly Kalua. Welcome, Holly.
Hi, Jody. What a great way to bring me in with a smile. What a privilege to be here. I love the idea that you've been on my health summit, and what a great enhancement. And I'm so glad I can come back and visit you here.
It is just great to see you. You know, not only times that your family becomes your friends, but oftentimes you get your best friends from colleagues. Now, don't we?
Yes, definitely.
So I am putting, before we get started here, I want to make sure, because I just get in this, I'm moving this from the private chat. This is how we can get this download. Everybody can be a part of this for sure. This download to get Les Brown's Ignite the Hunger in You, the book, the download, the $1.99 download. Here it is. So let's download you right now. Holly, tell our audience a little bit about you and your background, maybe anything I omitted from your intro. Please do.
Yeah. So I've been a nurse for over 35 years. So I have experienced so many different avenues of nursing. When I was going through nursing school, I had a teenage friend, because I was going through nursing school at 18, who got pregnant. And I didn't know enough to help her, except I could count to 10 when she was in labor. And that's when, you count to 10 and say push. And I was like, oh, this is so great. I can help her. I laughed later that wasn't really a lot of help. But it was a passion in my heart to make the labor and delivery experience so wonderful for women, and I wanted to be a part of that. So it took years to break into the OB field, and I finally did. And along that passion, I was also dealing with my own infertility journey. And so night after night, working the night shift, congratulations, here's your new baby. Oh, and you watch the love between the couple, and then, I have to tuck my own sadness inside, because I was truly happy for them. So.
But just having that own sadness inside of you, my goodness gracious, you tucked a lot of what I was talking about, what's eating people in the COVID era, but in of you. And so you've got, ladies and gentlemen, you've got to read the rest and get the download. Read the story. You'll hear the rest of the story, because it's great. Your chapter, I love the title, The Pink Carnation. I just wanted to whip out a song about the pink carnation. And then your amazing quote, it just says that, because there's so much depth in you, Holly, about today is tomorrow's successful yesterday. So tell us a little bit about your chapter. Would you please, Holly?
Sure. So, I'm sure people are going like, what's that again? So today, and we're always in today, is so when you get to tomorrow, You're going to look back and say, oh, yesterday, that was a successful yesterday. So my challenge is, what are you doing with your today? Because tomorrow, that's going to be yesterday. And how are you going to feel about that? Are you where you want to be?
So true. And so tell us anything, just a little tidbit, a little breadcrumb like Hansel and Gretel about your chapter with the Les Brown book, please.
Right. So the pink carnation, the reason why that is the title is during my fertility journey, every Saturday on Mother's Day Saturday, I'm in church and they're like, all the mothers, please stand. And the children will take the pink carnations out and give to the mothers. And I had the hardest time not just bawling, because it's like, I can't stand yet. Another year goes by and I can't stand. And 20 years later, I still can't stand for. And granted, I could buy my own pink carnation, but it was that title, that deep yearning to finally have that title of mom, to finally hear that child say, Mom, I love you. I was just like, I wasn't there yet. And so the title is Pink Carnation because I did achieve that. I finally got my pink carnation. And with intermixed with some milkshake moments. I love that, forget lemonade, you go for milkshakes. And I think, how cool are you as a health coach using milkshake? I'm like, you're cool, and giving us treats. In that is the pivot of my career. So while we have, our passions in our life, many times getting buried and we're not pursuing that, which, as you know, manifests in your body. I had fibroids and I had that moment where I'm like, okay, am I going to dive into my career, or am I still going to try and have a baby? And what happens is you get labeled at 35. You're advanced maternal age. They give you the over the hill banner to put at your party and the walker. And it's kind of like, there's some truth in, and definitely your egg supply drops off. But what I found was it was very, very pivotal moment where, had I not asked the question, and so I really want to emphasize women, please ask the question, whatever that question is. Don't worry about if you're going to look stupid or because when they said, oh, we're going to treat your fibroids, and they start, reading off, we'll do abdominal surgery, do an incision, remove the fibroid, close it up. And I said, well, wait a minute. Wait, you're cutting into my uterus? Well, yeah, that's how we're getting it. And I said, do you know for sure, is there any other way to get the fibroids out?
Yes.
And they're like, well, I'm a surgeon. That's what we do. We cut them out. And I said, okay, wait a minute. So if you cut into my uterus, will I still be able to get pregnant and carry a baby in my uterus? And she looks at me like, at the time I was single and I was over 35. And are you still going to use the uterus? I said, I haven't decided that I'm not going to. And so the story unfolds how I realized we need to be advocates for our health.
Yes.
And I almost missed out on being a mom because I didn't ask that tiny question. And so I've carried this desire to help other women going through fertility and fertility challenges to be strategic, to feel empowered that, while it's out of their control to get pregnant, their journey is not out of control. They are empowered to challenge, to ask, to decide. I had, my fertility doctor telling me I have to do this and I have to do that. And I said,
who says you have to? What is the have?
Yeah, I
you
said,
decide the have, don't you?
Right. I said, it seems like I'd have a choice. And so I exercise my choices and, and I have a happy ending. And so I coach people, giving them the advantage that I didn't have, trying to navigate this as one patient instead of.
And Holly, I spoke in my interview with Les Brown that what is my passion? People perish for lack of knowledge. they perish.
Mhm.
So that's when you're unconscious, incompetent. You don't even know that you don't know. So
Right.
seek the right information. If you have a desire of your heart in any of these 6 arenas, get the questions answered, because you're the only person that will never leave you. Husbands may. I have a husband, and children at some area
You're
better.
like, yeah.
See ya.
Yeah.
So let's get back to you and
Mhm.
say, all right, you decided to say yes to the
Mhm.
Les Brown book and to
Mhm.
talk about being an advocate for
Mhm.
you and asking the right questions and coming in and
Mhm.
being with the incomparable 14-time best-selling international author, J.B. Owen. Tell us a little bit of why you decided to partner with the both of them.
Well, I didn't know JB, to tell you the truth. I did know Les, and I've always, the ignite word was that JB had. I taught a nursing course on reignite your heart for nursing, and so I'm all about ignite. And then when I started hearing more and more about Les talking about, your opinion of me, your label for me doesn't define me and my future. And that is what I found going through my journey was, you're old, you just need to relax, you're not. And all these labels caused me to have an infertility journey so much longer because I was passive in my health care. I'm a nurse. And I'm like, if a nurse can be passive, all y'all don't have a chance. So,
Oh, and this one, I'm going to take a little sip from my Mickey cup, thanks to Mr. Les Brown.
oh, very nice. Very nice.
Oh my goodness. You're a nurse and you did that.
Yeah. Because what happens is you think, oh, well, I should know more. That would be a dumb question. I don't want to challenge a doctor that I work with. So there's those subconscious effects that undermine your empowerment until usually you get past it and you go, oh, I didn't even realize I should have. And so I had the should have, and then oh, wait a minute, right after, and and was able to continue. And then the other thing is with Les is God is such a priority in my life, and he shows that God can guide your life, but you need to pay attention and step up. And so when I got laid off last year during COVID, I'm like, okay, God, I'm sure you've had this plan waiting, and we just had to knock that job out of the way. And so that gave me the opportunity to partner with Les and JB to help other people who've been either labeled advanced maternal age, but also I got hurt in OB and I had to leave OB. And so they gave me 2 weeks notice, pick a job on the board, or you're going home on disability. And I was like, no, I have so much more to give. So that the thing that Les reminds us, it doesn't matter where you come from, where you are, what are you going to do moving forward? And so I'm like, I can go home like the other nurses I know have been hurt, work at a dress shop, or I can still make a difference as a nurse. And
Wow.
so,
And you have.
Mhm.
And you ignite one person, one
Mhm.
connection, masses at a time. I can tell you, Holly, what this feels like
Mhm.
is that life's milkshake moment. We've just added a new ingredient. It's called Kalua.
Oh, right. Right.
So now we've got a way to even drink more of you in. So I'm going to bring up our next guest, and then we'll be back in just a moment. Thank you for your share.
Mhm.
You are amazing. You are just my heroine, Holly. You really are.
Oh, Jody, you're mine. Thank you. Okay.
Oh my goodness gracious. So yes, our next guest is Jocelyn McClure. I've had the honor and the pleasure of knowing Jocelyn now. We always go by alphabetical. We had to start with Holly. Now we're in J with Jocelyn. Jocelyn has been a part of the Hungry to Speak family longer than I have, the Les Brown coaching family. And I have watched her just be a servant heart. I have watched her just absolutely, I'm going to use the word ignite. And Mr. Les Brown said, every single time you speak, because speakers speak, It's another audition for the next time you're going to do something great. And this is what Jocelyn did last night on our Clubhouse preview, because we're getting ready to have this 12-hour event on Friday. And we're going to talk about that in a minute with the Women's Sense and also our summit. And I'm putting in the contact in the public chat just how you can get a hold of Jocelyn McClure. But last night, she owned that room. How did she own that room? With her passion, with her just depth of her soul. And she has a commitment that shows right now. She figured out how to be on my podcast. She has a commitment at her church on Wednesday nights. She's here finding a quiet room. She said, I'll make that happen. Don't you want to be around someone that just wants to make it happen? That feels great, doesn't it? Because Jocelyn is a speaker. She's an author, and she focuses on empowerment. She uplifts others. She just encourages with self-improvement, because she believes that your paycheck will never outgrow your personal development. Personal development is key. And she wants to maintain good mental health. It really is that mental mindset, what she calls through compassionate truth-telling, that mental mindset, because your truth, as they say in the good book, will set you free. Her most recent work is, yes, she has been honored to be one of the pre-screened of 36 authors in Mr. Les Brown and J.B. Owen of Ignite Publishing. And it's actually Unite Publishing because we feel like we're so united. But she's one of the 36 authors. Her title, and actually she has turned her title into her website. I love this. Her quote is, "The brutal truth can and should be shared." I'm going to repeat that. The brutal truth can and should be shared, wrapped in love. The chapter of her title is The Beautiful Brutal Truth. And her words are brutal because her truth cuts in, but she's beautiful on the inside and out. And it is my delight to bring Jocelyn McClure to Life's Milkshake Moment. Welcome, Jocelyn.
Thank you so much, Jody. I appreciate you. I don't know if I can live up to the hype, but I'm going to give it everything I got.
Because remember, hype and hope, it's all the same, because there is hope, girl. There is hope.
Absolutely.
Please, thank you for finding that empowerment time, finding a quiet place in your church to be with us here tonight. And so I really would like our audience to just experience a little bit about and of Jocelyn. Anything about your background that you want to share?
Well, you know, I'm at church. I am a worship leader here at church, and I've been singing since I was in the 3rd grade. I love God with my whole heart, and I do seek opportunities to serve. And so this is something I do consistently on every Wednesday that God allows me to make it in the door. And then periodically on Sundays, because we rotate out with different, participants and whatnot. But beyond that, I am a mother, grandmother, and counselor to many. God has gifted me, and I kind of didn't accept for a long time that was a part of my gifting, but I recognize that it definitely is, and I'm grateful for the journey I'm on now. It's amazing to be a part of this loving, giving, caring, sharing community. Oh my goodness. We give with such love and such passion. We share with such purity. It is so rejuvenating.
And you rejuvenate us just like you did last night. And knowing, isn't it true, Jocelyn? You think about, we know that we have our gifts, but we kind of dispel those gifts and think that is an ingredient on our milkshake that we shouldn't just own and embrace and bring in to your life. Isn't that true?
Absolutely. And I think that one of the things that happens all too frequently is that those things that come to us easily, we don't esteem them highly, not considering that others have to work to get to the places that we move into easily. And if we just all embraced the beautiful, brutal truth about ourselves, about our lives, understanding that all of our experiences culminate to create us. That's
Yes.
why we have them. That's why we have the encounters we have. That's why we go the places we go and do the things that we do, because our experiences matter in our journey.
Ooh, yes. Like our fingerprints, like our thumbprints. No one can do what you can
That's
do. And I know in a few minutes you're getting up on that stage at church, leading that worship, and you're going to know that we're gonna say it in a good way. This girl is on fire. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. So I
absolutely,
know that you ignite this, and I know you have a story to tell about your Les Brown book. Please
yeah,
share just a little snippet, but I'm going to say it again. Got to
yeah,
get the download for $1.99 to get
yeah.
the whole enchilada. So do share a little bit, Jocelyn.
Well, it starts off with a story that is really kind of heartbreaking. But this, I think, is proof that, what God does, what He allows in your life, though in the moment it can be heartbreaking sometimes, you have a responsibility to still see the good. And that's one thing I've learned how to do. I've learned how, in the years I've been walking with God, to say, okay, God, you promised me good. You said in your word that all things work together for good to them
Yes.
that love the Lord, them who are called according to his purpose. I love you, Jesus. I need you to show me the good. It's got to be here. It's got to be.
Ooh.
And so, as I was having a horrible, difficult experience, immediately following that, there were opportunities and doors and relationships that opened. And that
Mm.
basically led me to the journey that I'm on now with Les Brown as a speaker. You couldn't have told me this time, even last year, that I would have
No,
met
for
Les Brown, that I would have been on a stage representing him, that I would even be here on a podcast speaking to people and gathering. And the stories in this book, Jody, the stories in this book are
oh,
so inspiring. They're so life-giving. And it's
yes.
wonderful to be a part of this community. So while I was going through a very difficult, a very hard place, God opened doors, made ways, gave me new insight, gave
This
me
is the
new,
way. Walk you in it.
yep,
Yes.
absolutely. And I heard Oprah say one time, which I genuinely believe, and I've heard several people say it since, but she's the first one I heard say it. When life disrupts you, it's to get you on your path. We look
Yes.
at calamity and we look at tragedy and opposition as things that are built to stop us. They may be built to stop you from going the direction you're going, but I promise you, they're there to push you in the right direction.
The opportunity door is marked push. Pray
Abs-
until something happens, but you
ab-
have to persist until
you
something
have
happens.
You
Mhm.
have to. And in Japanese, I believe it's in Japanese, the same word that's used for calamity is used for opportunity. And that's how we've got to begin to develop as we think. Yes, this situation that you might be in right now could be very hard, very difficult. But to think beyond that space and say, now, what does this mean? Where am I supposed to go as a result of this? What am I supposed to do as a result of this? And what I found was that God had given me something for my brother, but he later made me know and understand in no uncertain terms that it wasn't just for him, that it was for me as well. And that's where the turn came. I'm
Oh,
so grateful. I am so grateful.
and I am so grateful to hear just this little bit of your story. It's a seek and you will find. You sought, you were relentless, and you kept pushing. And I mean, basically, we've already answered this question, but is there anything more? Because we could go on like until next Sunday about why are you excited about this opportunity?
I tell
And
you,
this milkshake moment that has ignited your life?
yes, I can't even number the ways that I'm excited. Having an opportunity to meet people like you with hearts that are pure for humanity,
Mm,
the development and preservation of just the human race. That I
mhm.
have had so many conversations where really I'm I can't even explain it. I am bound and determined to get across to everyone that I encounter. There are no races. There's one race. It's the human race.
Yes.
And if we
We
grab
all
hold of
bleed
that,
the same way.
we
We
all do.
all
And
bleed.
God
Yes.
loves us all. And if we ever grab
Mhm.
hold of that as our reality, and I accept the beauty that is you just because you belong to God, and you accept the beauty that is me just because you know He's my creator, we can solve the world's problem
Ooh,
by being brutally honest about the fact that there's no such thing as race. There's one race and it's human, and we
mhm.
are put here for one purpose, and that's really to bring glory to God. That's why we're all here. And so if we grab hold of that as our reality and live our lives out in that way, you can find beauty, you can find joy, you can find humor anywhere,
Everything. And you find that life's milkshake moment,
every
don't you? Yes.
absolutely. And when you, like you said, choose your ingredients wisely, you learn how to do that the longer you've been here, the more experiences you've had. When you
Yes.
first make a milkshake, you may not know the ratio of milk to ice cream. And you may not know everything you like in it, but I don't like mint in my ice cream. That's not one of my favorite things. But don't mess around and give me some pralines and cream. See, now we got a problem.
Yeah.
So as you go
There we go.
milkshake moments, you figure out what goes in there and what makes it good.
And
Yeah.
what makes it glorious to give back? Because I know Holly would agree with us, Jocelyn. We all bleed the same way as an
Yeah.
RN. She knows. And I'll tell you what, I want you to take what you've just given us as a testimony into church here. I mean, I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, are you getting it? That not only are we had these two beautiful women, Holly and Jocelyn, giving us their all, coming ahead, and now we've got women sense coming in to life's milkshake moment to going to women's sense. Like I said, it will be simulcast on Clubhouse and my Facebook page starting at 11 a.m. Eastern to 11 p.m. I ask that all of you that watch this in the next 48 hours, and those of you are watching it now, hello, Martha, glad that you're here because we are all women, yes, women supporting women, but we have real men, just like Mr. Jay Nolan's book, The Power of a Woman, from the perspective of real men. And yes, we'll be doing it for the men when it is Men's Health Week on actually month on the 14th of November. We're going to be doing the same day. Now it's only going to be 8 hours for the men because men don't have as many words as we do. We can last 12. Okay, it's only 8. But I really want to say that as this community coming together, Jocelyn and Holly, I get so energized just by just being here and hearing you. And you both know Jackie Tate. I just want to share this story one time because I've never shared it on our podcast.
Mhm.
The power of one. We're coming back after our Les Brown event. We decided to share an Uber. We left at the same time. We're going from Queens to Times Square. And we got in traffic, even at 12:30 at night. It can happen in New York.
Mhm.
And Jackie and I started talking. Women, we didn't want to go to the restroom by ourselves. We always ask, Holly, I need to go to the restroom. Jocelyn, you want to come? Holly, you want to come? We go together. And I said, so Jackie, tell me about, the $4, the $4 deal. And I'll leave her story for another time. You'll hear it on Friday. Next thing you know, ladies, you know what I'm talking about here. Next thing you know, I'm thinking it's Women's Health Month. There's more breast cancer, heart disease, just really degenerate autoimmune disease that I've ever dealt with in my practice of 42 years. And I said, Jackie, you want to do something about this? We need to have this deal. And we start, and the world stood still. Unfortunately, the Uber driver stood still too, because he let us stay in that Uber car for 15 more minutes before, in his New York accent, he said, ladies, you going to get out eventually so I can get another couple paid customers? Or are you just going to let me charge you twice? And I mean, hilarious time. I thought, oh, he's been here for a while. We tipped him really well. But this is why one person has an idea, the other has an idea. Jackie and I came to two. And this is what we have with Women's Sense on Friday, talking about this, the power of real women. So, Holly, I'm going to come back to you. Why are you so excited to be a part of this 12-hour giving and living marathon for the underprivileged, for your own beauty and excitement, and also to promote these two giving men to the caliber of New York Times bestseller?
Yes, I cannot believe the number of speakers that you have and the caliber of speakers that you have, and you put it together so quickly. It's amazing. So thank you for inviting me to be a part of it. So very excited. And yes, we want to get Les Brown that New York bestseller status. So,
because you can't give a present to the man who has everything, now can you?
right. Right.
And so which area are you speaking in of the six senses of a woman? What is your part?
Well, mine is a mix of spiritual, emotional, because with fertility, it's your mind body connection and
Yes.
relationship. So I put a lot of emphasis on the coupleship, and when you have that healthy, it's a better environment to bring a baby in. So
Beautiful, Holly. And I'm so excited to just have you be a part. Thank you for saying yes. And thank you also, Jocelyn, for saying yes. So why are you excited about Friday? Because I know you are, Jocelyn.
I am. I actually am. Friday, number one, is my birthday. Happy birthday to me.
happy
And happy birthday to Evan, my youngest son, and happy birthday to Jocelyn. There you go. Double birthdays.
Awesome. But to culminate, our experiences, the women, and it's been said that if you teach a woman, then basically you empower an entire village.
Yes.
And we have such a wonderful perspective. We're able to see everyone else's facet. My son made me know this in no uncertain terms today. My youngest son, as I was talking to him about a situation, what I realized is that women have just the ability to go into the emotional, the physical, the mental, the spiritual, and never leave the space they're in, because we just wrap around. We fit in where we need to fit in. We are multifaceted, and not to say that men are not, but we're uniquely multifaceted. We're able to bring things together in a way that brings peace, that brings calm to situations, and to have had the experiences that we've had and be able to share them with one another and the world. It's healing. That's my whole thing. I want folks to be whole mentally, spiritually, emotionally, in all facets. That's what I want. And to be a part of this forum with Forbes Riley, who is fire.
Forbes,
Kidding
yeah.
me? That's just one. JB Owens. JB has been such a bright light to me. I'd never heard of her before this, but she is such a bright light, just an enigmatic personality. So this is going to be, and I've been on another forum, but this is going to be very special, and I'm excited to be there.
The best of the best, just all wrapped up. We wrap this up, as you said, your quote, wrapped up in love. Holly, I know you're going to like this because it's a part of We Women's Anatomy. It really, our uterus looks like an avocado. So you can either have regular avocado and scoop it up, or make it guacamole. It's all good. And we're going to have both of those, as well as adding a little lime and spice. We're going to have everything on Friday. But then we have the men on the 14th. We're going to be starting to focus on the men here in the next couple of weeks on Life's Milkshake Moment. But check this out. Before I go any further, I want to say that we will be moving from YouTube to, in 2 weeks, that I'm honored to be a part of KB Media, that this will now be not only just a podcast, but a TV show, Wednesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, every single Wednesday. So just check this out.
Congratulations. Woo.
Yeah, it's you never know what kind of doors, our creator are going to open up if you just show up. Doesn't Lex Brown say we don't have to be great to get started, just to get started to be great? And what we are going to do is have a great summit, the book launch, ladies and gentlemen. Now we have a firm date is December 6th through 8th. And then we're going to go in to our summit. Every single speaker, all 36 of the authors are going to be speaking with JB. We have 30 minutes. There will be $10,000 worth of free bonuses. Did I say free? Did I say free, Jocelyn? I think I said free.
Thank you.
Yeah. Unlimited access to Les Brown, who will be speaking every single day. Then the chance to be a part of getting one ticket. Who's going to be that lucky one that gets a one-on-one with the Les Brown, the GOAT, the greatest of all time? Now, you can buy a free ticket. That's fine. And just listen. You can get a $49. But when you get the $179 ticket with this code that I'm just about to put in the chat, it is only $69. And you know what you get with that? You get all of the above. You get unlimited recordings. You get full access forever. You get the 10,000 free, and you also get the book for $69. All you have to do is just use this discount code, and we'll be talking more about this next week. But I want y'all, you that have hung around me long enough, you know that I always jump the gun, because my mother always said to me, Jody, you're such an instigator. As long as it's instigating for good, it's a good thing. So the discount code is Get Hungry. So Jocelyn, why are you excited about this summit?
Because, are you kidding me? Okay, so Les Brown is going to be one of the speakers. That's why I'm here, period. End of statement. Anyway, but beyond that, to be empowered financially, to be empowered emotionally, we a lot of times put our emotions on the back. We don't even, matter of fact, they don't even make it to the kitchen, more or less on the stove, on the back burner. Our emotions, we pull back, we squash them, we do whatever we need to, because we're accustomed to getting through. We're accustomed to just pushing through. But to deal with the things that are plaguing this entire world, this COVID season has not been a joke. No. And there have been some people that have really experienced some challenges through here. I know, yourself, Jody, I had COVID twice, and afterward had cancer. And that was following a few things that happened just a couple of years ago. So, I found myself needing support, beyond. And it's wonderful to pray. And I thank God that He has been my all in all. But sometimes you need a human being. Okay.
Yes.
Sometimes you need
something with skin on, man. Skin on.
Sometimes you need a human. And so to have women speaking from a place of empowerment and encouraging us to deal with our mental health, deal with our emotional health, it's just so important. This could not be more timely. And Holly said herself, even women who want to conceive, even wanting to bring life, can be stifled by the traumas and the dramas of this world. We got to deal with this stuff. We got to deal with this stuff, which reminds me, I've got just a couple of minutes to get down to the praise and worship portion of this service. So Jody, I'm going to bid you all adieu. Thank you so much for having me. Holly, I will see you on Friday.
Jocelyn, I've got to tell you something real quick. I appreciate you being a worship leader for music, but I'm going to put a bid in for you being the preacher behind the pulpit. too, because you are natural. So sign
Bless
up
your
for that
heart.
sometime too.
Bless your
Yes,
heart.
and this is the link. I'm going to put this in the clubhouse. I'm going to just wind up. I mean, Holly gives some parting notes, and then we are out of here.
Mhm.
Thank you, Jocelyn. You just go do your spiritual thing. We'll see you Friday.
Bye-bye.
Holly, just go ahead and just wrap this up on what is your last wonderful word of wisdom.
Well, I was just going to say about the summit. You said that code brings it down to $69.99 or $69.
Yes.
And that's not even the cost of one therapy appointment. You're going to get like 3 years worth of therapy, 36 authors in this one conference. So it's absolutely worth it.
Can I write that down on my sheet for next week? 36 hours of therapy.
Yeah, if you go once a month, there's your 3 years. So
beautiful.
Yeah.
And yes, that is so true. So this is what I know. What a joy it is to just get my cup filled. I guess life's milkshake moments, pralines and cream, Kalua, all those gooey ingredients, because it all boils down to what ignites you. What ignites you? And I want to do this with me. I'll do it once. You go with me on this one, Holly, because for JB Owen, the publisher behind this, she said,
She's
this
incredible.
girl is on fire. Okay, let's do it. 1, 2, 3. This girl is on fire.
Yes.
Woo!
JB is amazing. I'm so glad I met her because of the attraction of the less. I haven't been with a group so supportive, such a family. And, we're going to stay in touch even after this. Yeah.
We are together because thank you for being here and being you, Miss Holly. See you Friday. Because life is like a milkshake. Choose your ingredients wisely. And when you do, life will be oh so sweet, because health isn't something you do. It is who you are along life's journey. Make this a great moment in your life today.